there and go, well, why would he care if, if Bill Predebon, who's not on my team, why would I care that Bill is extremely successful in this, or everybody, or the brand newest person? It's because as this company grows, it's what's the saying? All ships, rising tide raises all ships. So I am so excited to see all of your guys' success in every city, and hopefully what I can share with you today will help. I do want to let you know, and hopefully you take this information, with a grain of salt, but know that putting this on was a lot of work, and I put a lot of time into organizing kind of what we're going to go through, which, selfishly cost me money. I am doing this for you guys. I'm not getting paid a cent to do this. And quite frankly, the Tina and I were talking about it, the 20 hours this week that it took me to put together all the information and the meetings and trying to figure this out, it's all for you guys. So I'm not looking for any credit. I just want you to know that I'm truly doing this to help you guys out, which is really exciting for me. So that makes me feel good to hear, your guys' success in the future. So what we're going to talk about first is, first I want to show you real quick. If you haven't seen my video on YouTube, you can just YouTube Damon Balch, and the video is up there. I want to thank my daughter, Haley, who's our production manager in the household. She's the one that put it together. She's the video editor. If you need anybody to help out with any video work or questions, she'd be more than happy to help out on that. However, I would say that, she'll have some kind of fee that, if she's going to be putting time into taking time away from me. But she did a great job. It's a lot of fun. We've been working on this for about a week and a half, and if you haven't seen it, just watch it. It's a little corny, kind of funny, but I think you'll enjoy it. So just YouTube Damon Balch and you can check it out. So let's talk about ideas. That's why you guys are all here. If I'm going to come out there on a Saturday, or I'm going to get up and do this, I want to know what is it that Damon's doing to bring in that kind of amount of people. First off, let's talk about leads. I get leads from everywhere. I get leads from Facebook, from LinkedIn, referrals, friends, emails, you name it. I don't do anything special when it comes to leads. What I do is I'm constantly, every single day, focusing on generating leads. I get a lot of leads from emails. Now, how often have you gotten an email from somebody that has other emails within that email? So you get an email from a friend, it might be a chain email. Do you realize that there's a lot of emails in that email of people that know that person that know that person? All you have to do is right-click, copy, and scroll all the way down in that email, paste, put it in a Excel or a Word document. Then you want to get out all the names and all that stuff. You just want the raw data on the emails and start building yourself an email database. Now, some people could look at that as, well, you're just spamming people that don't know or want or whatever. I never do that. I will send out once in a while, probably once a month, maybe twice a month, hey, this is what I'm doing, here's what's going on. If you have interest, here you go, check it out. And we'll get into what the specifics are. But I constantly send emails. I'm constantly updating Facebook, LinkedIn, referrals, friends, family, what have you. There's nobody in my family. Brent Payne said one time, the worst thing you want to have happen is show up at an event and your neighbor, a friend, or a family member is there. And I can honestly say there is no person that could show up in any of our events that would say, that I would go, what are you doing here? Because I've told everybody. There's nobody that would say I don't know. So, text messages, I'm a big believer in text messages. And here's why. A lot of people say, well, I don't like texting, or I don't want to do this, or whatever. I have asked now probably 200 people, or however many people that I've prospected, when I'm on the phone with them, before I get off the phone, what's your email address? And we'll get into the specifics on that. But I always ask them, do you get text on this number? 100% of the time, they say yes. Now, I was talking to Ryan Brown, one of our new partners on our team, and Ryan and I were talking about the other day about text messaging, and I use it very, very often. And I was telling Ryan about it, and he's like, you know, the difference between a text and an email or a voicemail or everything else, they always look at it. It's personal. It's right there. They see it. So, for instance, on my phone or my service, I can only send 20 at a time. So I've started building groups of 20 people in these groups on my phone. So when we're doing an event in Arizona, I've got an Arizona group because I know those people could come to an event like this, or they would come to our Thursday night meeting. I have a California, Sacramento group of prospects as well. I'm not talking just people in our business. I'm talking about prospects. People that I've met with, I've talked to, I put their number in a group, and so when I know we're doing a Thursday night meeting, Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock, I'll send a text to my group and I'll say, hey, we're doing a special meeting at a corporate office, or I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon next week. Hey, do you want to meet for coffee and talk about what's going on? I'm telling you, if you do anything, it's get better at utilizing your texting and how you use that to build your business. And I'm not talking about with people in the business. I'm talking about prospects. So, any questions on texting? Yes?
What you asked, you generate leads. How do you generate leads on Facebook and all that? You send them to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Come check this out. What do you say?
Yeah, he asked, the question was, how do you get leads on Facebook and LinkedIn and what have you? I'm very cautious on, I'm a media guy. I've been in radio and TV, like I said, for a lot of years. In radio, when you're selling radio, you're selling theater of the mind. You are selling to create an image of something. So my preference, and again, and I should have started this section off with, you don't have to do what I do. I'm going to tell you guys everything I'm doing. If you sit there, if Kelly goes, I would never do that, or Ryan or whoever, that's okay. That's okay. I was asked to share everything I do. Maybe half of it's not right for you. When it comes to Facebook and LinkedIn and any social media, I do not use it as a constant badgering of just bugging people of what I'm doing. If you go onto our Facebook and our LinkedIn, I'm very cautious on how often and when I send my messages. So I use voice messages, social media, email, and text messaging all together. If I know that I sent you a Facebook message and I know you're in kind of a group of people that are on my list in Facebook, if I say, hey, this is what's going on in the real estate industry, I might pick a few people that I know that are in the mortgage industry and send them a text message about a cool update about their industry. Hey, did you see this is going on in the mortgage industry? What did I just do? I what? I planted a seed, but the answer I'm looking for is I gave them value. I didn't ask them to join my business. I didn't tell them about real estate worldwide. I just said, hey, did you see in the mortgage industry that this is going on or that's going on? I'm trying to help them in what they're actually, I want to be a resource. That's what the best TV reps and the best radio reps do, is they go out and they're a resource to their client. So I for whatever reason, I see all of the people that are getting in this business as just like clients. They're business clients. And you guys, we all are business clients. But the prospects are the same thing. How often, if you own a car dealership and you're a general manager and you've got sales reps that come in and try to sell you on all their crap, it gets old. I mean, there's hundreds of them doing it. How about the person that comes in and brings you value? The guy that stops in and drops off a magazine about the automotive industry with a sticky note that says, hey Bill, I didn't even see the guy, just leave him a note or something. I said, hey, thought you might be interested in this publication or this whatever it is. He's like, wow, Damon, I'm not trying to sell him today. I'm looking at 30 days from now. So right now, and I was talking to Tina about this, the people that are coming in our business, actually I think Bill asked me this on Friday. He said, dude, how long does it take to get people coming in the business? The people that signed up this week are people that I was giving value to 3-4 weeks ago. And the people that got in when I first signed up or when we first started our business were people that I gave value to for the last 15 years. So I had a relationship. The first 10 people we brought on, I'll be honest, There were guys and women that I knew and I had relationships with. People that trusted me because I wasn't always out hounding them to do something that they have no idea what it is. Because keep in mind, every single person that you first initially talk to, unless they responded to an ad, I'm talking about somebody on Facebook or LinkedIn, they don't want to do this right now. But in 30 days, if I can get 10% of my 400 friends, that's 40 new people. And that's the way I look at it. If you've got 400 friends right now, don't look at trying to get all 400 of them to do this, because most of them aren't going to want to. Give them some value on your Facebook or your LinkedIn so that in 30 days from now, wow, Joe contacts you back because you actually weren't just spamming him. Anyway, so hope that helped. Any other questions on that? Again, text messages. Self-populating websites. When I first got involved with this company, we didn't have these. And I went out and created my own. And I'm not going to go into all the details about that, but it took a lot of work, and I went out and did it. I will tell you what, if you have not maximized every single possibility of your self-populating website, which is myreww.com/, in my case it's BWM, which has my picture, my wife and I's picture, information about us, and our contact information. It's got a join now button on it. Now it's got a video on there. That's the golden nugget. That is your tool that you need to market. Now don't go out and just send that to everybody. Utilize it and make sure that when you send it to somebody, it's somebody that actually has a little interest in what you're doing. But if you haven't customized that yet or gone on the site and utilize that, you need to do that. Those things rock, by the way. I mean, that's I didn't put that on there to promote mine. Yours is going to be right here, and so you need to use that, because when we get to some things, that's how I'm getting all the people involved that we have. Custom landing pages, we have those on our marketing system as well, and I'd encourage you to use those, and I think that the company, we're working on updating and adding some new stuff to that, so that's exciting too. Trying new things. I am big into, and let me back up, obviously I'm dressed a little different. I'm all about life is trying something different. You know, yesterday I had lunch with a guy that just got in our business, and he has a Ducati motorcycle, and I got on the motorcycle, I'm taking pictures and texting him to Brent, and he's like, what are you doing? I was trying to get the helmet on, and his head's smaller than mine, so I couldn't, but have fun, man. You know, try new things. Try new things. I'm big into this. You know, there's no one right way to do anything. Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, I tried it. I've had some success with it. We've went to LinkedIn, and you can sign up for an ad account to place ads. LinkedIn's really cool too, because you can specifically target the industry, the background, the history, the market, the city, everything. So it's a pretty effective way to market to people. This is funny, and this is the 100% truth. I never had a LinkedIn account until June 15th of 2012. Business sales guy, never had LinkedIn, and I really didn't have much of a Facebook page, if you ask my daughter. I think I have like a couple hundred people. I just busy, man. I'm busy, and I'm working, shaking hands, and meeting people, so I really didn't need it. However, since June 15th, my LinkedIn account had 0 people in it. I have over 800 connections today. 800. Most people have a hard time getting to 500. If you look at a lot of business professionals and people in that space, they'll have 100, 200. There are quite a few people with 500. Has it been hard? No. It's just a matter of contacting people, and I get up in the morning, I spend 5 minutes when I first wake up. I go get my glass of water. I like to have a glass of water when I wake up. I spend 5 minutes, I get on my laptop, and I send out 25 to 30 messages, say, hey, join my thing. And I customize it to them, and I say, hey, I'm looking for people in the mortgage industry. Just thought you might want to join my deal. Never once have I had somebody say, no, I don't want to join your deal. 800. So go on my LinkedIn and look. There's nothing special on there. So you can try ads on there. You can do ads on Facebook. Yahoo, Google, display ads, and mobile is hot. Most media companies today are promoting their media applications. So if you live in Chicago or you live in Seattle, Washington right now, you can go to your local TV or radio station, and for a fraction of the cost of what it would cost to advertise on the King 5 TV station in Seattle, it's going to cost you a couple grand to place ads, effective ads on their website. Because I wouldn't do TV, I wouldn't quite really do radio unless it's a co-op. But if you're going to place ads, place them on their website, because you can target who you want to go after. But here's the key, here's the trick. Ask them, tell them you want to be on their mobile applications. And here's why. They have unlimited inventory. If you want a trick and a secret from a guy that's just came out of the industry, if you call up right now, if you call Channel 3 and you say, I want to place ads on azfamily.com or AZ Central, or you want to be on the mobile applications, you can get ads on the mobile applications for less than $5 for cost per thousand. So that means you're gonna have a cost per thousand of under $5. If you want to advertise on AZ Central or on AZ Family here in Phoenix, it's going to be a $10 to $15 cost per thousand range. You're reaching the same people, and quite frankly, advertisers are stupid to be putting it on the website, because mobile is right there, and the conversion rates are 20 times higher. I just was there. I saw all the numbers. The fact of the matter is, mobile works better than web pages and websites. Fact of the matter. So hopefully that helps. Google AdWords, I got a guy that got in our business named Bill Mooney. If you want to talk to him, he's kind of the guru in maximizing Google AdWords and putting your right keywords and targeting the specific stuff. I don't want to know all that. I mean, it's way too complicated. However, it's very, very effective. And he and hundreds of other companies are good at doing that. So Google, I want to find a person to do that, or you can contact Bill. I'll give you his contact info. Doesn't matter who you use. They're all going to be the same. But there are people out there that can help you maximize those ads. Because why do you want to place an ad that pops up under ESPN Sports, and you have your ad over here that says, Damon Balch, make $300,000 a year in this business opportunity? If they do click on it, it's a waste. I mean, you're spending money. You want to go after specific people and specific areas and people that are higher quality. Most of the people we've brought in our business are sharp, professional for the most part. I mean, they're really good quality people. Prospect, prospect, prospect. In radio, there's a theme. Frequency sells. You want to have a 3.0 frequency on a radio station. Tell them again, and tell them again. Now, that doesn't mean spamming them. Give them value. But you need to constantly be talking to people and reminding them. I had a guy get in our business, I think the week before last, who was somebody that we talked to months ago, that's like, yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do it. I'm like, okay, I got enough of those people. They go in this pool. I keep reminding him and reminding him. Here's the key. I don't care what Suzanne is doing. If she's busy in her life, if I approached her today and I said, hey, Suzanne, do you want to start an oil change company with me next week? She would say, no, because I'm busy and I don't have time to do something like that. And she's excited about what she's doing. So it doesn't matter what I say. She doesn't want to start an oil change company. However, if whatever in her life changes, if her boss changes, or she doesn't like what she's doing, or it's not working, or whatever, and then I talk to her about the oil change company, she's going to be what? Probably open. So what we got to get out of our mind is quit trying to make somebody want to do something when they're not in a position in their life that they want to. Right? If you love your job and your family life's great and you don't fight traffic and life is good, you're probably not going to want to do this, and that's okay. I'm not looking for that person. I'm looking for the person that's frustrated. They don't like traffic. They were making 150, now they're making 75. I'm looking for the person that's looking for a change. You're mentally going to kill yourself And you're going to drive yourself nuts if you go home and you go, oh, I can't get Mark Miller to do this, or I can't get Steve Johnson to get in. And he'd be perfect. But Steve Johnson's not in a point in his life where he's a good prospect for this, right? Forget about it. But you know what? Mark Miller and Steve Johnson might be interested 30 days from now, or the 30 days from then. So keep them on your list. You don't want to just blow them off. So consistently be prospecting, sending emails daily, groups, folders. I'm big into kind of keeping folders and stuff like that. So systems. For me, ADD guy, man, one day I'll be doing this and the next day this, and I try to keep it within, you know. I always say that when you hire great salespeople, they're like racehorses. If a racehorse doesn't have a jockey and they're not on a track, which way are they going to go? Not a trick question. Which way? Who knows, right? I mean, they're just going to run, but they're going to run. They're going to go fast. You got to keep it in a track. So you have to figure out what your strengths and your weaknesses are and go, man, I'm a racehorse. That's why I look at myself. I'm always constantly going, but I need my wife to keep me checks and balances. Here's probably the most important thing I did when I started this. I set a goal. I was making more than 10 grand a month. I think I was making $12,444, and then I had a bonus pool on top of that. So whatever that added up to be, I don't even know. I set a goal. I want to make 10 grand a month. If I can make 10 grand a month in 90 days, I quit my job. Keep in mind, a couple months ago, I quit my job. If I can make 10 grand a month in 90 days, I can go, okay, now what do we do? I'm not stressed out about making money. I mean, I'm feeling okay. You know, it's like Bill said, it's scary. When I quit my job the next day, do you think I was just like, yeah, I'm ready to go? Sure, I was saying that. But what do you think I was thinking when I got up on Tuesday morning? Holy, I think I put it in here. I'm not going to say what this is, but it's what? Wait, what was that? No. I know what that letter means. Well, yeah. I know what that is, but it was whatever. What it? Yeah, what it blank takes, whatever. I can't remember what I wrote. All I know is I was scared. And I was like, I got to make 10 grand a month. So the second thing was my commitment. I told Brent, I'm like, I'm going to sign up 8 people a week. Sure, let's do it. And then it was 10, and then it was 12, and now you're like 15. I mean, what's the deal with that? It's kind of crazy. Anyway, you got to be committed. You got to say, what am I going to do? And you're going to do it. You know, people like, so what are you doing? And I'm going to get into some of those things, but I'm committed. I just said, Brent said, can you do 8, 10 people a week? All right, let's do it. Because all I'm focused on, folks, I like all of you and you and everybody, but the number one important thing to me is my family. And the second thing, the most important thing to me right now is 10 grand a month. That was all I was focused on, period. My family and that. Not making friends, not hanging out, quite frankly, not being here on a Saturday morning. I'd rather be on the phone trying to make some money, because actually I'm actually at that, so I'm excited about that. But I want to make more. But my original goal, so for those of you that are thinking about quitting your job on Monday, call me up if you do, because I'd love to rap with you. If any of you quit your job on Monday, just call me up and say, dude, I did it. And I'm like, yeah, let's go, because I want some more of those people. Let's go. If you're not on my team and you decide to walk in on Monday and say, I'm done, let's get you 10 grand a month in the next 90 days. You can do it. Trust me. I've done it. So you got to have an action plan. What do I need to do? What do I need? I tell people, you got to have a phone. It needs to have 3-way capability. This is funny, I am having a little success here, obviously. I have a old school BlackBerry Bold. If I can do it, I'm sure you guys all have smartphones. I'm probably the only one in this room that has a BlackBerry Bold. That's crazy, huh? You're like, why does that guy have a BlackBerry Bold? Because my plan's not up till February, and I don't like spending extra money if I don't have to, and so there you go. However, I do have an iPad, but you need to have a phone. Has to have three-way capability. If you don't know how your phone works and your phone, you don't know how the three-way thing works, which Suzanne's smirking at me right now because she's got people in her group that call her up and say, I want to do a three-way, but I don't know if my phone does it. Then spend an hour after this meeting and screw around with your phone and call your kids and call your other kid or call a friend or whoever and figure out how your phone has three-way capability. I know if that BlackBerry has three-way capability, your smartphone does. Figure out how it works. Don't call your person above or Brent or whoever and say, how do you, Michael, how do I work my three-way? I mean, figure it out. You need to have a PC, you got to have a computer. You should have an iPad if you don't have an iPad or whatever these things are called. The reason being is I email the proposals to myself. Matter of fact, I have this one on my iPad. So this is just a PowerPoint. So when I fly to Portland and meet with my group and I sit down with people at Starbucks, and for those of you that know, Starbucks is my favorite place, and I don't own any stock in it. However, free Wi-Fi, great coffee, and it's just a great place to hang out. I have my presentation on my iPad, and I sit down with them and I say, well, at first I talk to them, but then I show them how the business works and what we have. And there you go. I just emailed myself this presentation that we're going through now, and I have it on my iPad. If you don't have one, invest a couple $100 or whatever they cost and get one. All right. Here's the key. You wanted the golden nugget today. This is it. Get a spiral binder. You guys are going to laugh. This is how I run my entire business, which is in a regular old spiral binder. I keep my names, my contacts, I scribble stuff. If you said, Damon, where's your entire business? It's in these two spirals. If I lost these, I would be in big doo-doo. I have all my contact names. And here's the trick. I put notes on this side. These are prospects. And then the people that are actually interested, I move them over here. These are good prospects. I don't have a special CRM system. I don't have special this. I have a spiral binder, and I went out and bought 50 of these. She bought them at Target. And I'm going to send one to everybody that gets involved in our business because they probably won't go buy it on their own. But they're $2. When I'm in my car, I got my business here. Obviously, I got a BlackBerry Bold, so I can't pull up a lot of stuff. But I want to be, if I go to Hawaii, I got my business. If my computer crashes, I got my business. My hard drive, it's right here. This is not rocket science. I mean, you don't have to have all these cool systems in place. This has changed my life, and I started using this 15 years ago in media, and still now do it in this business. So, spiral binder and a pencil, because I write everything, as you could see, in a pencil, because then you can erase it and what have you. Decide the hours I will work. That you need to do. I can tell you what I did, what works for me, because I quit my job. I work 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 1 to 6. Those are the hours I work. Don't ask me to go boating or do whatever. I can if I want, but right now, until I get to 50 grand a month, which is coming up here real soon, I'm focused on working. When I get to 50 grand a month, maybe I'll work 2 days a week or whatever. But initially it's that. Most of you have a job. Unless you go in and quit on Monday, you need to figure out when you're going to work this. If you don't commit to a specific time and specific days, you will not be successful. I guarantee you, you cannot fit this business in when and where and how it works. It won't work. You may be sitting there right now thinking, well, I'll just do it when I can, and I'm going to do a little more here, a little more there. You have to commit yourself to a specific day, a specific time when you're going to work this. And you're going to treat it, I think that's on my next page here. Let me look. No. You're gonna treat it just like here's a great analogy. You go out to dinner tonight, Saturday night. You go out to dinner with some friends and family, and you're sitting there at P.F. Chang's, and you're having dinner. And you own 2 Subway shops as a business owner or as a homeowner. And you get a phone call that says, I mean, you guys are sharp guys. I mean, you guys own a couple Subway shops. You get a phone call that says the main water pipe in the Subway in one of your locations busted. And you're sitting there at dinner with your mom and your dad and your friends and your family. Are you just going to go, I'm not going to worry about it? No, not a trick question. You're going to go get it fixed. It's going to take time. It's an inconvenience, right? Why then is it so hard to find a couple hours here or there to grow your own business? Because a lot of people say, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. What are your top 3 TV shows? Bachelor. I just say Bachelor because it's always on in our house. But, whatever. Bachelorette, maybe it is. I don't know what it is. Which one's the boy and the girl? Bachelor Pad. Oh, okay, Bachelor Pad. For me, I'm a big proponent of turning off the TV. And if somebody tells me they don't have the time, I would love to see what they do Monday through Sunday from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. 24 hours a day. Because I will guarantee you there's nobody in this room or in any city that doesn't have the time. And I guarantee you nobody has to go quit their job. However, if you're focused, you can find the time. If you're committed, you can find the time. But if you don't decide when and where you're going to do that time, you won't do it. There will always be something that comes up that won't make it happen. Oh, my son's got a golf event, or this or that. Well, what's funny is when you go into work at a job from 8 to 5, if your daughter has a cold, I mean, you can't just say, I'm going to go home for the day. Maybe some of you can, but most jobs are not that flexible. I mean, you can get time off, but you got to be there. You're running your own business. When I ran the pizza parlor, did I want to work at 7 at night until midnight running the pizza parlor when I had a full-time job on top? No, I didn't want to do that. I was focused on what I wanted. I wanted to own a whole bunch of them. I was committed to do whatever it effing took. That's what it is. So, learn something every day. I think I mentioned that. Read a chapter in a book 7 days a week. You might be sitting there going, I hate to read. If you just said that, then you're pessimistic Joe or whatever the guy's name was. Stop saying it. Just get it. Go stop at Barnes & Noble on your way home. And if you're good at sales, get one that's on people skills. If you're not good at with people or sales, get one or the other to help yourself get better. Stop saying, I don't like reading. How many of us say that? I've said it. I say it all the time. Do I like it? No, I really don't. But I do it because it helps me make more money. It's helped me be successful. I graduated, barely got out of high school. Barely. And the reason I've been able to make as much money as I have is because I've read a lot of books and I've hung out with a lot of successful people and have just done what they've told me. Share the information 1 hour a day on the phone. What that means is get on the phone and share the business with people. If you choose, because you have a full-time job, you can only work this thing 8 hours a week. And that's what I tell people. 99% of the people that get involved, you guys are all sitting there. You have a full-time job. You can't work this 40 hours a week. You could, but you won't. So what would you do? Would you be committed to 8 hours a week? What does 8 hours a week mean? Let's look at the week. 7 days a week. You don't want to work it 7 days a week. I want to take Friday, Saturday, Sundays off. Now, am I here helping out? Yeah, sure. If it comes up, if it works in our schedule, Saturday morning, I'm like, that's cool. I would have just been hanging out watching. I think there's a golf thing on this weekend or, prospecting or whatever. But be committed to those times. If it's 8 hours a week, you can make that kind of money in 90 days if you commit 8 hours a week, week after week after week. But you can't fit in the 8 hours when and where you want. You have to be dedicated to say, those are the times I'm going to work the business. If you want to do more, great. If you want to do less, great. If you want to move your days around, great. But you got to be committed. And what I mean by committed is you got to spend 1 hour a day, 3 to 4 days a week sharing the information. So what I mean by that, the reason that we've had success is every single day, Monday through Thursday, sometime between 1 and 6 p.m., I'm on the phone. Hi, this is Damon. You inquired about our company. Or, hi, this is Damon. Hey, what are you doing? Thought you might be interested in a business idea. 1 hour a day, 4 days a week. I've been doing that for 6 straight weeks. 1 hour a day, 4 days a week, every single week. If they come in the office and I'm on the phone, they know, doesn't matter what it is, unless it's a life or death emergency, they turn around and they walk out because I'm on the phone. I'm working my business. I'm at my job. That's what 1 hour a day. That's it. That's it. Follow up. Last one. Have fun and repeat. Man, it's all about having fun. I was not having fun in that suit, so I put shorts on. This is how I like to dress. I like to have fun. This business is supposed to be fun. It's a blast. It's an absolute kick. And every day I'm just going, I'm making more money now than I was making 3 months ago in the TV business. And I get to wear shorts. I get up. I go for a run every day. I get to sit out on the patio. My lovely wife makes breakfast in the morning. Get to have breakfast every day. And I read in my book, now with my glasses, because I've got reading glasses. I'm a little bummed about that. But every single day, and then we screw around from 9 to noon, and I'll do some emails or answer some calls or whatever. I mean, our day is like kick back. I'm like hanging out. Just, Kelly, I hear him all the time, sitting by the pool Kelly. Kick back. 1 o'clock rolls around. I go from kick back Damon. I'm still dressed the same, but I go more into business guy. I'm focused. I'm calling. I got my notebook out. I'm like, okay, it is Monday. It's 2 o'clock. I've been kicking back most of the day, but now game's on. Stacy Cumberbatch, San Francisco underwriter, email address. I'm getting on the phone. I'm calling Stacy. Hey, Stacy, what's going on? I'm in my business mode that 1 hour. And in some cases, 2. It just depends if I'm in a groove or not. A minimum of 1 hour. I've been telling radio reps this for years, and half of them don't listen. The ones that do listen make a lot of money. 1 hour a day, focusing on moving your business forward. Shut the computer off. Shut the outside distractions off. Screw the boss. Everybody, wife, kids included. You are, well, I shouldn't say wife, because there's probably more women that are in this doing this too. Your spouse. Shut everything off and spend 1 hour a day focused on this business. It's 0 distractions. If somebody calls you, unless it's life or death, don't answer it. Jim Piccolo will tell you. He's probably watching this. He called me the other day. I was working the business. I didn't call him back. And he kind of laughed. He's like, a lot of people don't not call me back. Brent remembers this. I was busy, man. I'm busy building the business. And he respects that. And I'm sure after he heard why I didn't call him back, hey, Jim, that I was building the business. I don't care what comes up. If I got a client at one of my houses, or if it's life or death, that's it. Let's go. So systems and techniques. This is where I get into stuff I think that can help some of you guys. Let's talk here real quick about first contact. I have a lead and a prospect, Stacy Cumberbatch. I always call her on the phone. There's a lot of people I'm hearing out there now that are sending her an email and saying, Stacy, do you want to check out my business? Go to this link and check it out, and hopefully you get excited because you can make $1 million a year. Wrong idea. Wrong idea. Now, can you follow up with Stacy and talk to her later? Absolutely. But this is a people business. You have to get on the phone and talk to them. I personally, if you ask most of my past associates in radio and TV, and they're listening right now or watching, and they'll tell you, Damon hates the phone. I don't like talking on the phone for various different reasons. I like email. I like texting. I like all that stuff. But I'm not stupid. And I want to make that 50 grand a month now. I know that I have to get on the phone. If you're sending emails trying to grow your business, unless you have success doing it, I know it doesn't work for me. Do I ever send an email to the initial prospect? Never. Never. Do I send emails to prospects? Yes, about giving them value or what have you, but I don't initiate the business. Theater of the mind. You have to create a theater of the mind for the prospect, the person you're calling. Brent's the master of creating theater of the mind so that you can understand and you can see it. The cool thing about selling radio advertising is you don't have a product. You can't see it. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. You have to convince the client that what you're selling them is going to work for them, and they can believe it. And they can see it in their mind. You know why radio advertising works? Because as you're driving down the road and you're going 60 miles an hour and the commercial for Shane Company comes on, you're picturing this old guy with gray hair across from the theater, Shane Company, but he's building theater of the mind. We're diamond importers. We get all of our jewelry at this cost, come into our great showroom location, he's building a theater of the mind. When you listen to a radio commercial, you don't even know you're doing this. You are seeing something. You're not hearing it. You're hearing it, but your mind is turning it into what? A picture. So why would this be different? When I get on the phone, I'm trying to create a picture for the person I'm calling. So, hey, Brent, Damon Balch. I see you inquired about our company. And I have a good friend of mine who actually, let me hold on that role play here real quick because I think this part's a real good point. When I do get on the phone with a prospect, I always ask them, is this a good time? I need 5 to 7 minutes. Hey, Brent, this is Damon Balch. Hey, did I catch you a good time? Yeah, man, it's good. Or if he says no, I'm like, okay, great. When would be a good time to call you back? Tomorrow at 2. Excellent, great. Mark down tomorrow at 2. But when I call Brent, every single person I ask them for permission to talk to them. And I'll guarantee you that there's people in this room and across the country that are calling up and saying, hey, Damon, I see you responded to our ad, and I'd like to talk to you about our business. And then they get going, and I'm sitting there with my daughter at a volleyball game, and I'm like, yeah, this is a bad time. And all she had to say was, is this a good time? And I would have said, no, I'm actually at my daughter's volleyball game. Can you call me back in a couple hours? Yeah, great. I'm looking forward to her calling me back because she respected me enough to ask me for my time to talk. And if you get on the phone and you just start going, they're sitting there going, it's really annoying. But a lot of people do it and they don't realize they're doing it. So always ask for a few minutes of their time. Tell them the reason for the call. Why are you calling? Now, if the person responded to an ad, you're saying, I know you inquired about our company. I was calling you back to answer some questions. Is now a good time? Yeah, it's a great time. Those answers are usually easier. If it's somebody that's not really interested in a business, still call them and say, can I get 5 to 7 minutes of your time? I'd like to talk to you about an opportunity. I guarantee it'll only take 5 minutes. And no, it's only going to take 5 minutes. What city are you located in? So when I call Brent, one of the questions I'm going to ask him is, hey, Brent, I see you got a 949 area code. What city are you located in? Oh, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, really? God, I bet it's hot there, right? Is it humid there? Yeah, a little bit of small talk. Before I tell you about our company, I'm gonna role play this here real quick, the whole thing. I always ask 3 questions. And Ryan Brown, who's the master on the phones, I was telling him about my 3-question approach, and he's like, that's a really good idea. I ask these 3 questions to every single person. I hate giving these ideas out, but it works really, really well, and I hope you use them. Again, rising water tides raise all ships. What industry are you working in now? So when I call Michael, ask him if he's got 5 to 7 minutes. I heard you inquired about our company. What city are you located in? Is this a good time? You know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yes. I'll tell you what. I got a couple questions for you real quick. What industry are you working in now? And he'll say, I work for a construction company. I'm a project manager, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, cool. Do you have, I would assume you have sales or management experience, or do you have any? Yeah, actually, I'm the project manager, and I manage 3 or 4 people, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, really? How's that going? And, oh, it's going great, or it's not going good, whatever. Then I always ask, Well, why are you looking? Or why did you respond to my LinkedIn ad? Or why did you email? Or are you looking? Well, matter of fact, I am. I'm kind of, looking at some opportunities. I want to get out of this industry. I'm not making enough money. I don't like it. My boss is a jerk, whatever the reason. I'm like, oh, really interesting? Okay, great. Done. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I asked for their time, the reason for the call, what city you located, and I asked him 3 questions, and Michael just sat there and talked for 5 minutes about him and what he's doing and how he's doing it. And it took a very, very short time period. I accomplished what I wanted because I wrote down what industry he's in, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what city he lives in, because I didn't know that because I just had his phone number. So the next step, I'm still focusing on theater of the mind. So when I call Michael, or when he just gets done telling me, answering those 3 questions, I say, well, Michael, let me tell you a little bit about our company. Let me keep this real brief. I know we're at about 5 minutes. Are we okay? You got a few more minutes? Yeah, they always say yes because they just got done spewing and talking about them. I say, great, let me take a couple minutes and talk about our company and our background. First off, let me tell you about myself. I've been in the radio TV industry. It doesn't matter which one you're in. Tell them a little bit about you. Keep it very, very brief and short. And then I segue into, I had a good friend of mine. I'm just going to say it. I wrote it up here, and it didn't transform how I said it. I'd say, Michael, hey, I'm in the radio and TV industry. Blah, blah, blah. I've been in sales management. However, a good friend of mine, Brent Payne, called me up and said, hey, do you want to have a meeting at Starbucks and talk to you about a business idea? And I went, sure, what the heck? I respect the guy, and I know he's been very, very successful. So I said, sure. Theater of the mind, Starbucks, they can visualize that. So I said, Brent and I sat down, and he bought me a coffee and started telling me about this company that he was launching. He was getting back in the space, and he was doing it with these guys out of Memphis, Tennessee that have a phenomenally successful real estate product and system. And I went, oh, that's intriguing. Tell me more. And Ryan just heard me making these calls yesterday, so he's going, yeah, I heard this. And I said, tell me more. And so he proceeded to tell me about this company, Real Estate Worldwide, that he was starting. That's a great business opportunity where you can make money from a marketing standpoint and make money with the products. And I was like, very intrigued. So long story short, without telling you all the details, I'm still on the phone, without telling you all the details, I did my due diligence and I did my research, and I realized that this is going to be a home run. So because of that, I was willing to walk out of a very successful career in the media industry to start a partnership with this company. And I did it with no guarantees. But I was that confident and that sure that this is going to be a home run. And I pause, and they go, oh, really? Well, I'll tell you what. I know we've been on the phone here for a few minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to email you a website to go through that has a video that I've put together that's going to give you an overview of what we do and how it works. You can play around on the site. There's a compensation plan. There's a 13-minute video on the homepage. There's other videos that I've put in there, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, I tell them that, can I follow up with you tomorrow at this time? Can I follow up with you tomorrow at this time? Never does anybody say no. They always say yes. Okay, Michael, is this the best time in the afternoons? Yes. Do I ask them for a specific time at 4 o'clock? No. And the reason I don't is because I know me, and I know that I probably won't call them at 4 o'clock because I got a little ADD. But I know I will call him because I have my hour blocked out somewhere between 2 and 4. I'll call him in the afternoon. I don't want to put myself on the line to have to call at 4. That's what works for me. So I call him sometime in the afternoon. Any questions to this point on the pre-sale part? I did my due diligence. I think this is very, very important because it makes it sound like I did my research and kicked off my division 6 weeks ago. I keep adding this. It went to 4 to 6 to 8. Absolutely growing faster than I ever expected. Someone with your experience and background would be a good fit. However, I do need to continue through our screening process. I use that a lot. I'll email you my website information and links. Go through them. We'll talk tomorrow. Is this a good time to call? Great, I'll call you tomorrow around 4 to 5. I put 4 to 5 in there because I didn't want to make it sound like I am not very organized, and sometimes I'm not. But Ryan heard me call yesterday, numerous calls. They were all the same, but they were all completely different depending on what the person said. They were all very, very short. I know some of you do a great job of building rapport and relationships with the people, but what I've found is I build a relationship with somebody, and I find out 2 hours later that they're not interested. And I'm like, I just wasted my time with a lady in Jacksonville, Florida, that is the worst prospect that I could ever do, and I want to get to the point. Are you interested, or do you have a background that makes sense? It doesn't matter what their background is, but any questions? I do this over and over and over, 1 hour a day, 4 days a week. Theater of the mind. So, you guys want to know what I do when I follow up? Hey, John, did you go through the website? There's a tricky question. Excellent. What questions do you have? Well, I'm not understanding. Is this real estate, or is this an MLM, or what is this? Well, matter of fact, it's not. It's a direct sales company that has some amazing, absolutely phenomenal real estate products and systems. Matter of fact, they were just featured in the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies at number 1,348, and which I couldn't say that before. Now I can, but I would endorse that. And our products are really, really good. However, I'll tell you, I focus on the marketing side. And there's two ways to make money with our company. One is with real estate, with our products and systems, which I plan to do, and I'm learning more about the systems. However, right now what I'm focusing on is expanding this business through a concept just like franchising. Are you familiar with the franchising industry? Do you know that if you owned one Domino's location, you're going to make maybe $2, $3, $5 a month as a business owner? You're going to invest a couple $100,000 to make $5 a month. For me, $5 a month to invest $200,000 is not a great return on my money. However, if you told me I get to be the franchisor and I can go out and open up 50 of them or 100 of them, dude, I'm in. Because $5 times 100, what, I don't know what that is. Math lady, $5 times 100. How much? 5,000 a month, so $5,000 times 100. 500,000, isn't it? Yeah, 500,000 is a lot a month. If I can make 500,000 a month, I'm in. That's what this is. Silence. What? And then they start asking another question. So, theater of the mind. People understand Domino's, right? They understand insurance agencies, State Farm, Subway, whatever analogy you want to use. Theater of the mind. People understand what it's like to own one Domino's, and they understand what it's like to own 100. Okay? They can get that. That's what we're doing, and we're doing it with a real estate product. I was telling some of our leaders about you, Stacy, and they were excited about Jacksonville, Florida, and I told them you'd be a great leader in this market. So tell me, I throw that in sometimes. What do you have interest in what we're doing? And I don't know about you guys, but when I get somebody that's went through the information that I get back on the phone, obviously, the conversion rate is like ridiculous. And I'm being cautious of how I tell people that, because I don't want people to feel like they can't do it. I don't know anybody that can't do what I just did. Everybody can do that. However, you have to understand it, and you have to believe it. And the first hour that we spent, if your head's not right, none of this matters. Because when you get on the phone, if you're not confident and you don't believe it, it's like Bill was talking about, if you don't 100% believe it, that's your problem. It's not the content. It's your belief. And if you believe it and you walk in and quit on Monday, you'll have success and you'll make massive money. However, if you're going to keep your job and you're going to keep working it because you don't believe it yet, fix that first, and then you can go to the next step. So I think we're about to wrap this up. Theater, mind, perceptions, reality. So if I tell Michael, hey Michael, I've got hundreds of people that are getting involved in my business and my company across the country. And if you get involved with us now, I can position you at a spot where you can be directly on my team and we can kick some butt and take that dominoes concept to hundreds. And now's a great time to do that. I have 0 people in my business. I've never signed up anybody. I just got signed up last week. But are there hundreds of people in this business getting involved across the country? Absolutely. So say it. I got hundreds of people in our company that are getting involved. I can get you positioned in a spot right now where you can be that Domino's owner and have hundreds of locations. We're just doing it in the real estate space. Exact same thing. Whoops. I have partners joining my team daily. If you get started, probably have you first qualify. This is the key one. I can probably have your first qualifying sale done within the next 24 or 48 hours. It's Friday. I have people joining all this weekend. I can probably get that done by Monday. And you're sitting there thinking, I just signed up yesterday. How am I going to get his qualifying sale done by Monday? Well, if your head's not right and you don't believe it, it ain't going to happen. But if you're telling yourself, Damon's doing it, he's not that smart. He barely has a high school education. Rick and Suzanne are kicking butt, you know. They're not that smart. I mean, you name it. Bill, you know, he's not that smart. It's just a process. So once you believe it and you say it, now you're sitting there thinking, where's that rock? You're thinking, I can't tell somebody I will have somebody qualified because I don't have anybody else coming in, so I'm not telling them what's true. What if you do? What if there is $100 in here? And you start saying it? Here's what I'll tell you, and I told Brent this the other day. I said, it's kind of crazy. It really is crazy. You start saying it, and it starts happening. It turns into reality. So, let's wrap this up. I know I'm at my time. Have people joining all weekend. And I talked to you first, Michael, so you can get in before the crowd, and I want to get you positioned to where I start bringing these people in. I'm going to help you grow your business, and we'll rock and roll this thing. Let's go. What are you waiting for? I don't have the money. Really? And then we talk through that objection, and you can get with anybody to get that. I have already texted Brent and said, before my follow-up calls, and said, Brent, hey, dude, you got time to do some three-ways today? And he's like, sure. So I'm like, cool. So when I first got started, he'll probably tell you, I was three-waying him and Michael more than probably anybody in the business. That's why we're at where we're at. Because I used Brent and Michael as a testimonial or as the person to help me sell them and push them over the edge. They're the master of it. They're great at it. Now I'm good at it. Once I get good at it, then I can teach other people how to be good at it. All right, folks, I think we're just about there. And then my email that I send out to everybody, how to get signed up, which is basically just the steps. I tell them what to do. It's called Let's Roll. So here's the payoff. Keep it simple. Try new ideas. Keep learning. Go get a book right now. Drive to Barnes & Noble. Find solutions. Stop focusing on why it doesn't happen. Go quit your job and you'll figure out a solution. I didn't really say that. Stay focused and have fun. Here was our first week in Hawaii. We hardly knew each other, and I was going to put the group one in there, but it's really grainy. This is me. Tina and I were out for a walk one day, and there was a John Deere tractor sitting by the golf course, and I just jumped on it, took a picture, and I started texting it to people, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? Here's my daughter and I at some Ross or some store, and we went and dressed up in all the jewelry, and we're taking pictures. And dude, this is out on the beach in Hawaii. Just wrote this and started texting it to people. And dude, you gotta have fun with life. I mean, that's what this is about. That's why I'm here, because I'm not having fun working for somebody else. I don't know about you guys. I'm very, very passionate about the Yale professors who think they know everything. I'm more drawn to the Mark Cubans of the world, and he went to college, but there's some different. I just don't like this whole process of if you don't do this, you won't be successful, and that's a bunch of crap. The guys and the women that make the most money and are going to make this country great again, it's still a great country, are the ones that are willing to work hard, that are going to think out of the box. Stop being, you know what I spent the majority of my time at my last company, and all the companies, I don't want to dog on them. I spent 40% of my day justifying my job, doing reports for corporate and this and that. You know what? I want to own a company where I've got people that are innovative. They're coming in with ideas. Let's try something new. Maybe there's a better way we can do it. But we as a society, it's like we get beat up like that rock, and it's like, can't do anything. This is going to be big, you guys. I mean, it's already big, and it's exciting, and I'm honored that you guys wanted me to come. I know Brent's going to come up here and talk for just a couple minutes. We'll get you guys out of here. Sorry I went over. My goal was to keep it at 2 hours, but I hope you got something out of this, and your destiny it's amazing what we're going to do. And I would just encourage you to not wait and wait and wait, because 90 days from now you're going to go, God, I wish I was working it a little bit more. Stop waiting. Take action today. Get out of here, go to Barnes & Noble, get a book, get on your email, start prospecting, and make a couple calls. And make a couple calls on Monday. And you get with your spouse or whoever you need to and set the times you're going to work it. So I'm done. I hope you learned something.